We dive in our hearts. The door is here. We feel the love. We feel it. There's such a love. There's such a big love. It's so big that we have to be careful. And the angels are helping us define the edges and of our own, each person's individual capacity to experience that love, because it's such a big love. It really literally would blow out our circuits. It would blow the circuits out if we just dived into it headlong. It would be that would be very hard. So what we do is we dive in enough to experience what we can. And remember that it's like a fractal. And the thing about a fractal is it kind of goes on to infinity. So just even a taste of that love can be enough to activate a comprehension of the full potential of the love. It's like the door to heaven cracks open just a little bit, and the light of that sweetness comes forward. It is more like a function than a form. And I would say that in the field of heaven, the reality that is experienced in the noetic body at that level is more of a function than a form. The form is very abstract, very abstract. Oh, I'm seeing that there are different areas or regions in heaven that resonate with or attract, or I would say cause the cultivation of different types of angelic forms. I remember the first time I bumped into the cherubim. I felt like I was in this place where all the beings were just so soft. It was like being with babies. It was just like babies everywhere. Oh, it's like babies playing with puppies. It's just one of those places. It's such a sweet little soft place. It's such a sweet, soft place. And the sense of humor, there's a good sense of humor here, because remember how I was saying that we as humans, we see both the light and the dark, and without it, it would be boring or something like that. No, it's not boring. Okay. This is the first thing that's coming as we're diving awareness into the regions of heaven, is that there is infinite number of ways that all good can show up that are even completely different from one another. And they give rise to, or they become like the spawning ground for different types of angelic forms. Spectrums from very large to very small. Even though at that level, space and time as we know it really doesn't exist. But there are particular laws of nature that are more active in some areas of heaven than others, that give rise to like the very, very tiny angelic forms that reside inside the body and help our bodies heal, versus the really, really big forms that are responsible for the maintenance and the evolution of great, on like a grand scale in our universe, right? Galaxies and star clusters and like that. Big download coming in. The map. I might have to go visit my friend Eric again. Lol. Make a new map. Map of heaven. Map of heaven. You can see how, when I zoom in and I say, oh, it's like a fractal, and I zoom in and you see the little circle within a circle within a circle. Yeah. So that is also one of the ways of illustrating how some of the angelic forms are so tiny that it can be like an overseeing angel that oversees just a single cell, or even just the single part of a cell. Like Each mitochondria in the body has its own little overseeing angelic support. Little, really little, really little. And as I said before, function is more dominant there than form. And the function is love. The function is love. So you can imagine love showing up across this spectrum that's like a fractal from very small to very large and nestled, values of love nestled within each other. And it is the impulse of divine intelligence that fuels the manifestation of the creation and imbues every particle of creation with grace. And grace, just to be clear, is that gift that is beyond what we thought our potential, beyond what we think of as our potential, right? Like you feel like, well, yeah, I deserve some things. But then when you get something that you feel like you didn't deserve, that's grace. And the creation of the universe, that's grace. So this download with the unfolding of the map, I feel so lucky to get to see this with you. It's the first time I've seen it too. It's really beautiful. It's because of you. It's because of you bringing your light and your grace. This vision, like all beautiful gifts in creation, is offered back to the feet of the divine. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you, my God, for having given this to us. And it is yours, and it is you, and it is beautiful. And we are so lucky to have you and to be granted this download and this gift. And here I see something moving through. See, whenever you offer it, that's the down part of the figure eight, right? That's the part that goes down into the ocean of silence. It always emerges with something. And so we offered it back. We had the vision. We got the download. It was a gift, but we offered it back to the feet of God, like, oh no, it's your gift, God. You did it. You're God godding with God. And then as it comes back, there's something that is like, looks like an impulse of this sort of elaborate lightning bolt sort of thing that is crackling through the whole field of heaven. And it's like it breaks it open. It breaks open the heart. It breaks open the hearts, many hearts, many hearts. It breaks them open so that they may experience higher levels of the truth of the relationship with the divine. So this thing that was like a lightning bolt, it's like pure light, and it's crackling through the chambers of heaven, the regions of heaven. So offering that back to the source of creation. Thank you, God, for that vision. Oh, and what emerges from there is the living presence of God. The living presence of God appears across the spectrum from being a more abstract expression of God, like impersonal God, all the way to the personal expression, the body. And it's very humbling. And the heart feels delicate because we know that as human beings, we're just small, right? And along with that, knowing there's certain receiving a certain I would say the context, receiving the context by which we traverse the regions of heaven. Because not all uh, not all areas of heaven are that appropriate for us as human beings to be in from our more gross level. Thank you. Increasing the light there a little bit and the definition. It's glorious. You can always go with an escort. An escort can support. So this is the next thing that's happening for each person is it's like the energy signature or the definition of that guide in the heavenly realm who can help open doors for you to experience the architecture of heaven. So I'm saying, this is fine. This is lovely. But I'm thinking what we really want is we want to know how to use our experience, how to navigate the architecture of heaven in order to heal ourselves, to heal our bodies, because that's what I do know about, right? And so this is what's important to us as human beings is we need to know, how do we transfigure this creation to be something of real value? How do we leave a legacy to this world? How do we help our bodies heal? How do we help our nervous systems heal? The answer that comes back is that the humming of the human nervous system in its usual traditional resonation is a little bit crude for heaven. It's a little bit crude, but the architecture of heaven provides a context that informs the nervous system, especially the neurites in the whole chest area and around the heart, that informs them of what their potential really looks like. So we end up with two, it's like having two eyes open, right? You get perspective. We have two visions, one of what the hum or the resonation of life force in the body looks like right now, and what it would look like if it were aligned in a more appropriate or perfect way with heaven. And immediately the answer is coming back to me from heaven. The residents of heaven say, well, you don't have to align perfectly with heaven when you're human, because part of being human is being in a condition where mistakes are made, and then the resolution of those mistakes leads the soul to higher levels of perfection. And so sometimes those lower vibrations are present to help create a context where lessons are learned. Okay, fair enough. But also they create suffering. I'm just having a conversation right now, just having a conversation with the angels, basically. So I'm saying, well, those types of mistakes also go hand in hand with suffering pretty much always. And even though suffering and pain can be a great motivator to learn lessons, everybody who's here, so I'm speaking on behalf of our group, we're here because we've done the pain thing already enough. And nobody in this group is here because they want to experience pain or continue to have to suffer to learn lessons. We're here because we're ready to give up those beliefs, habits, internal constructs, whatever it is that's blocking the flow, and to just live, even if that means thinking of ourselves as a little, like, maybe not fitting in with the modern culture perfectly, right? Not being like a cookie cutter, stamped out human, willing to take the leap into new fields and new territory in order to become a higher level of our own nature. The shift takes place in the heart. It's like, you want this? Okay. And the shift is in the heart center, and it means purification. So it means the darker shadows and the blind spots that are baked into the wiring, the neurological wiring in this chest area. Also, for a lot of people, the autonomic nervous system. I'm also seeing some of the systems of the body activated in this as well, because just like there are neurites around our physical hearts, that those are like brain cells, okay, that are here in the chest and that allow us to think and perceive in a way that's unique. It's not quite like the way we think and perceive in the head, but it is absolutely thinking and perception that takes place. There are neurites throughout the body. The kidneys have neurites. The glands have neurites. The skin. The gut has a lot. The gut's like almost a second brain, right? It's a lot of nerve tissue down in the gut area. Wherever the darkness is hiding, you guys, in the context of heaven, it has an opportunity to be cast out of the body. Wherever the living presence, whatever the blind spots are, whatever the wiring that's like over years of engaging coping mechanisms around particular types of discord, like some discordant feeling that seemed like it would be scary or difficult or painful to deal with. So we create coping mechanisms around it like that. Wherever they are, the ones that are ripe and ready to be released from the system, whether they're in systems or they're centered around the energetic core, those darknesses are like a living presence. They're like the opposite of angels, right? Those ways that the imbalance shows up as a living presence. In the name of the Lord, in the name of God, by the grace and love of the one creator, they're given a path home. We don't send them back where they came, because they'll just go back and then create more trouble. We send them home into the downside of that figure 8, right? They go down into the downside. And sometimes if they're really bad, they have to just go down there and cycle for a while. It's not jail. In our world, there is so much suffering. And this shift that's occurring, your willingness to step into this place of courageously step into this place of exposure to a healing process that's so deep in the fabric of the being, opens the door for the world. In this world, there's so much suffering. So all those places, I see a lot of fear clearing. A lot of people are holding fear in their abdomens and their gut area. A lot of people. Some people too, it's like in the solar plexus area, but there are a lot of people who it's held in there and it's locked in with the whole microbiome. So the microbiome is also kind of independently holding a space for a lot of these discordant feelings. The heart gets fuller as the darkness is identified and cast out of the body. The living presence of the darkness is identified and cast out, and the heart center, the eye of the heart, wakes up. It becomes a vehicle or a conduit for the love. And the love is so kind of like deeply entrenched in every particle of heaven that even the slightest move here in the chest area to open up that compassion and allow that heart value to flow, the love just pours in. It's so big and it's so beautiful that it almost becomes difficult for the mind to engage in thoughts very much. The feeling is so rich. It's like listening to beautiful music or looking at a beautiful landscape or a beautiful person or work of art or something, right? It's so beautiful that the mind almost disengages a little bit. The mind just settles down and feels the silent bliss of the source of creation, while the heart flows in the richness of that sweetness of love. And it's offered back to the source of creation. This is my state. This is my place. This is how the angels rejoice. This is how it's really, really easy to enter the kingdom of heaven. This is how the kingdom of heaven is entered, through the eastern door, through the door of brightness and lightness and clarity and softness and purification. The east is a direction on our earth, but it's also a condition. Here, it's a condition in the nervous system. There's like an eastern condition of the nervous system, facing the sun, facing the rising sun. The light as it rises is at the center, the very epicenter of the regions of heaven, of the heavenly region of creation. The brilliance of that light is so, it's just so indescribable. It's so indescribable. It's so big. It's so full. And the mind is so quiet and the heart is so full, we can take in as much of it as we are able. And it penetrates the tissues of the body. And it goes in, especially to the autonomic nervous system, because the autonomic nervous system is one of the main players in, it's like one of the main areas that changes as health improves. The autonomic nervous system is at a gross level. Another one of the main players is the epigenome, okay, which the epigenome tells the DNA how to show up. So it tells the cells whether they should be healthy cells or whether they should be cancer cells or whatever kind of, how they should, if they should shrink or if they should grow full and robust, whatever. And the autonomic nervous system tells the body and the microbiome how to feel. Oh, I should be upset about this. Or, oh, don't worry, this is nothing to be upset about. It's almost like the autonomic nervous system is almost like in charge of the software in the system. It's processing feelings all the time. It's processing information directly from the noetic field of the body, from the noetic body. The autonomic nervous system sits in that. Well, all the different systems, they go from the gross surface down to the fine level, and they have their little places. But this healing at this point for the autonomic nervous system is to support your ability to step into the regions of heaven, and better yet, to anchor into the lap of God. As consistently as possible. There is no time that being in the lap of God is a mistake. It is always good. Being in the lap of God is always good.